We got a special guest this week.
Oh
I,
shit.
I don't know if
Oh yeah.
it's hyperbolic to say that they may be one of the fastest rising stars in the pro wrestling scene.
That's fine.
Um, Last month, this past August, they celebrated 2 years in the world of pro wrestling being a pro wrestler. And I mean, she low key collecting, and when
He's
she done holding the title, she just go get some other titles.
he's cooking.
I just watched the match where her last match is one half of the Mission Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions. Currently, she's one half of the first ever Reality of Wrestling Women's Tag Team Champions. Shout out Jada Stone. And she's also the current holder of the Inspire Pro Pure Prestige, say that 3 times fast, championship. And she is the first woman to ever hold that title.
That's facts.
You recently saw her on ROH on Honor Club. Back in July, you saw her on AEW Collision making her debut over there against Thunder Rosa. I'm a stop because we need to have a conversation. Chat, BRP family, anybody out there, please give it up for the one and only Maya World. Maya World. Let me get the applause. Let me get the applause. Let me get the applause.
It's been a long fucking time.
It's been a long time. Hold up. Let's get Maya. Let's get
Put
Maya
on the
right.
Summer Jam screen.
Yeah, let's get Maya
Oh
right.
my
Miss,
God.
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not a gang gang.
Miss Maya World. How you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Hanging in there, can't complain, can't complain. It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Good.
How have you been? You've been moving.
hmm I've been good. I've been trying to like chill. Like this week, I've been just chilling because I had a very busy weekend and I came straight off a flight, straight to a show, and so my body's been through it. So
Mhm.
I've just been chilling this week, but I'm good.
Yeah,
Does winning make it better?
Yes.
I bet. You say that it's funny hearing you say that because I saw you tweet and you mentioned I'm not booked this weekend, and it almost sounded like that was a rarity at this point, like you moving on like a very consistent basis, especially over the last, how long has it been since like your pace has been on that level?
Definitely since like last July, I felt the switch. Like it was like every weekend now. So
Mm,
about a year almost.
damn,
hmm
a year on the road.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that does this come as a shock to you? Because you legit popped out of nowhere for me.
hmm
Right.
Um,
And
I recall seeing your name, and then maybe a week or two later, God rest his soul, you were sitting with Trey D
mhm,
and Dora.
mhm.
Like a week later, I'm not sure what interview that was on We Love Wrestling, but
Mhm.
popped out of the blue, and then it's been gone. Has this been a shock to you, or did
You
you know it
know,
was going to happen?
I mean, yeah, I did pop out of nowhere because I mean, I just started, so I'm
Yeah.
getting that. But no, like it should be a shock to me. But the fact that like whenever I first started, so in our school we have like two different tiers. It's like the new beginnings, and then like the advanced and the graduates. So um, you start in these two classes for the beginners. You're only going 2 days a week. So when I moved up to the advanced, I was like, 2 days not enough, guys. So I was going 4 days a week for like a year straight. Um, and then like I was just learning more and more from my coach Lugatti. Shout out to Lugatti.
Mhm.
Um, and from him, it's like he teaches. He doesn't have like a set thing. Like he teaches. He's like, okay, we're doing this today, and we do a whole class. But like he don't teach the same thing all the time. So like I'm learning stuff in all these different classes that people haven't even learned yet because I'm just going every week, 4 days a week consistently.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what got me like my head start. And then obviously when I graduated, I went straight to start training with Athena, and then with Booker T and all of them. So I just feel like my hard work, like I'm not shocked by it, by what's coming, but I am really grateful for it.
Shit, I've been putting the work in. I can't be shocked. Um, talking about 2 years as a pro wrestler. I imagine there's a lot of things that you've picked up. You've worked with a lot of people. There's a lot of things knowledge they imparted on you. But is there anything right now that you know about pro wrestling that you wish you had known when you started pro wrestling 2 years ago? Like anything, whether it be something on the road, something in the ring. Is there anything that stands out?
Yeah, I mean, I just learned a big lesson this past weekend. It's a traveling lesson, so it's not that big. Like I'm still learning as I go, but traveling. So my flight to from Jamaica back to Florida, and then I flew to Austin. I didn't realize. So it was my first international flight. And I didn't realize, like, of course, you got to go through passport security and all that. As soon as you get back, obviously, that's such a, something that slipped my mind. So, like, we were landing at 12:44, and I bought my flight to Austin for like 2 p.m. so I can land at 4. And, our flight from Jamaica was kind of late, so I'm like pushing it through the airport. So my guy, JV Cool, he was like, so if this happens to you, you got to wait for your luggage. So next time, just keep your gear in your backpack so you don't have to wait for the luggage. And then if it's late, we can just send it to you and ship it out to you.
Right.
That's something small I just learned this past weekend off the top of my head. But like I said, I'm learning as I go for the actual wrestling business.
We hear a lot of pro wrestlers. Oh, my bad. We hear a lot of pro wrestlers complain about the travel. What's the best part of travel?
The best part is when I land and I'm in a new city. Because I'm scared of planes, so deathly scared. Like I have to get used to them now, but that's the best part for me. Like being able to travel the world, because I feel like I've been very adventurous. But as I was younger, I didn't have that luxury all the time, just because the way I grew up, which is completely fine. But now that I'm living my dream, I'm traveling everywhere, so I can't even complain about it.
What you gonna say, man? This man crazy. Talking about it's you mentioned Lou Gotti, you mentioned Queen Aminata, and I do want to talk about your current partner. I saw you kick the crap out of Kai Dream, so that hopefully Jada Stone don't get on your bad side. But it's interesting to see the two of you, you and Jada Stone, the current Reality of Wrestling Women's Tag Team Champions, aligning right now, because you both are, your names, WrestleMania, in Philly, your names were buzzing, around people in a number of circles. How did that combination come together, and what's it been like teaming with her?
So me and Jada, we started being friends. Like after I started wrestling, I seen her online, and I was like, oh, this girl's good. We didn't talk a lot at first until I started like traveling, and then I started seeing her like every week, and then she started coming to Row. Well, we started being cool before that, but there was this one weekend I had a show, and she was on it, and I came to North Carolina, and we stayed like in the hotel together that night. And like since then, it's been like we're like the same person, like we think the same. Like we were just talking about this weekend in Jamaica, how like we're always on the same like wavelength, and we never thought to like tag team until recently. We're like, I think we were getting talked about putting us together for Row, and at first it was like, like we're too good like apart, but when the thought of us getting together, I was like, maybe it could work. And well, it worked. And that's my girl. Like that's really one of my bestest friends in wrestling. So it came together like out of nowhere, but I'm very excited about the future and that there's another Black women's tag team, because there's not a lot, obviously. So not that picture, please.
Hey, I'm saying I was trying to find some landscape ones, but because y'all got a lot of different pictures, because y'all been, but it's new, right? Actually, I want to say, because you said another picture, next week, right?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna is there anywhere I see that y'all gonna be wrestling? Is there any word, any hint of who Jada Stone and Maya World would be facing at ROW Gold Rush, Reality of Wrestling Gold Rush next week?
I'm not gonna lie. I think I have an idea, because it's the only other tag team that's been announced. There's been like singles competitors been announced. I think it's gonna be Lady Bird and Gigi Ray, but Monica Monroe, her new name, and Gigi Ray. But I'm not really sure yet. But if it is, that's gonna be a really good match. So hopefully y'all get to see that soon.
My world saying if it is, I'm gonna bust their ass.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
First, you can't have to. Sorry, girls.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
You've been I don't know if I should say blessed, but you've been lucky enough to share the ring with one of your mentors. How did that feel? How was that when you got to enter the ring with Athena on Ring of Honor?
I look back that match a lot, and I'm kind of annoyed with myself, because I walked into that match with too much respect for her and too much like, Yeah, you know, like I love her so much and so much respect for her. And it was like a dream for me because I never expected to get that, especially that early.
Yeah.
So I'm just mad at myself that I didn't go harder than I should have. Like I did what I could, I showed what I could do, but I still wish I did more. Like I always talk about that match because I'm always like, next time I get that match, I'm like, I see her as respect, but also like now it's like I respect you, but you're also my opponent. So like,
Yeah.
you know, you're gonna have to get this work type
Yeah.
thing. But still, it was such an amazing experience. Thankful for her because if it was anybody else, I wouldn't have got to showcase everything that I was able to showcase. But Athena is so giving, and she probably gonna hate me for saying this, but she's obviously one of the best in the world.
That's
So I'm so
facts.
grateful for that experience.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody else has told you. I think I saw Trey D say something. But when we saw you on the television and you threw up like I felt like this was my little sister on the television. No
Yeah,
bullshit. Like
facts.
we went nuts. We were all in the chat talking about like, yo, you see this shit, blah blah blah, blah. And we
Right.
don't know you from a can of paint outside of what you know what I'm saying,
Right.
outside of the matches and outside of what we see online. Did anybody else express those feelings to you outside of Trey D?
I mean, yeah, I've had a few people around the wrestling scene, like actual wrestlers, like people from like Jay Bougie in
Shout
Philly and like Pretty Boy
Shout out.
Smooth and like all those people, like they definitely like have took me under their wing like a little sister. And thankfully for them, I got this opportunity in Cleveland, Ohio at Exodus Pro because they just went to bat for me and was like, this girl is really good. So I'm thankful for people like them. But yeah, it's like a lot of black people around the wrestling industry. I don't know how
all
people's raps are, but they're really like they're really what's the word? They're really helpful and they give me so much great advice, especially for being a young black woman in wrestling.
Yeah. Well,
that's
it's important.
yeah, that's facts. That's a fact, and that's good to hear.
Yeah.
And it's good to hear you like other people hear you say that. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't a lot of us at one point in time. And
Facts.
I reiterate that it's good to see one of us shine, and that's what you've been doing. My bad, Cap.
No, 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 no. I think that is all good. Again, conversation flowing. I mentioned earlier about the buzz behind certain names in Philly, and I believe that if I'm not wrong, that was your first WrestleMania week
Yes.
that you worked in Philly.
Mhm.
What was that experience like? You talk about not really being somebody who's like flying and whatnot, but then you're going out. You're a lot of different crowds, a lot of different environments. What was Philly like for you?
Philly was so fun. I still didn't understand how they would react to me because I'm from Dallas, but they didn't care about that. It's just wrestling.
No, that's man.
So it was cool.
That's
Um, but that GCW show, and then I had Spark Joshi when I won that tryout. That was I walked in with two bookings, ACW and also GCW, and then I walked out with that third booking, which is probably like my favorite one of the weekend because I got to wrestle like a Joshi legend who I wasn't. Or I got to wrestle and team with Joshi legends who I wasn't expecting that. Like obviously I'm like very confident in myself going into the tryout, but when I walked in, there were some other great talents. Jada was there, Jocelyn was there, Ava Everett was there, Jordan Blade was there. So I'm like, I really had to work for that. But that experience was so fun, and I felt like a shift after that happened. Like I felt something changed low key when that happened after that weekend, and I feel like it has been really up from there.
Have you talking about wrestling Joshi legends, and I know Jada Stone has been in certain schools. Have you ever made any you may have desires, but have you ever seriously thought about maybe trying to see if you can make a trip to the Far East and hit?
No, that's my number one goal right now. Like that's the only thing on my list. Like it's at the very top, and there's like nothing under it for a while because that's my number one goal is to go to Japan. When I first started, I watched a lot of Joshi stuff. Like my coaches at first is like get some experience first before you start doing the Joshi stuff because they drop people on their necks and they kind of crazy. So but I still did it. I still watched it and I still try to implement it into my style. Um, but yeah, that's the number one goal of mine for both me and Jada, honestly.
No, that definitely makes a lot of sense. Talking about goals, do you have a list? Who's on your list of future people that may get their ass kicked by Maya World at some point soon?
like new is
Um, Let me think. I do know that my number one is obviously Mercedes. I already wrestled Athena, so she on the list still, but it already happened. So now I
She
gotta wait.
said
You got
Athena
payback.
Maya 2. Yeah, we need to
Payback.
get that second
Payback.
match in.
We were supposed to have it in June, and then she got injured around that time, so it got canceled sadly. But I was really excited for the rematch. But obviously Mercedes Moné is my number one. I want to wrestle Billy Starks. I want to wrestle Masha Slamovich.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I don't know those names. Like I watched her at Queen of the Indies this past, and I'm like, she's like way more crazier in person than people think. Like she's really, really goated. Masha Slamovich and
Right.
Kylie Ray, women like that, like the top women around the world.
I Masha Slamovich has wrestled some of the matches. Like
Yeah.
I've seen you work and you get busy, but Masha's out there. She looking to really hurt somebody. Like you trying to get in one of them death match type situation with her.
Yes.
Tell Cal don't sleep on you. Tell him.
Hey,
Like he's sleeping. He love that shit.
hey, Masha Slamovich. It's called the Texas Death Match for a reason. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm looking to see how far my world trying to take it.
Yeah, I do want to do a death match. If there's anyone I would do with her. Like, cause I got one in me. Like, I got some street fights in me, but one death match, and I would
be saying the same shit. I be saying the same shit. I got one on me.
one in me.
Because we done had 3 death matches. Cut it out.
Right. Family Mania 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, they always main event and all. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, listen, Sister Maya, we were in Philly for the that scramble.
At GCW, yeah.
And that for the culture match. What is it like to be in the ring with folks that are known for being dope in different ways? And like, how do you stand out in those kind of matches?
Honestly, in the ring with 5 other women, including myself, 6. You just got to find your ways. Honestly, it's because you got Janai Kai, and Janai Kai is Janai Kai, and then you have Jocelyn Navarro, who's the funniest person I know, but also the hardest hitting person I know. And you got Jada, who she corkscrew moonsaulting and stuff, and then Maserati, Tierra James, who just looks like money no matter what room she walks into. So you just gotta find your lane and get in it. Like, but I mean, I think I did a good job of that, and I tried my best, and I didn't walk out the win, but it was still a great experience, and I did get a lot of like I said, eyes on me from that match.
Nah, yeah, like I said, I think that match week, that match in particular that week.
That is the match that got us the tickets.
Period.
Yeah, no, facts. Yeah, facts.
We got the tickets off of that match.
The thing is, it was already a show that had Too Cold. You already knew it was going to be Darius and Billy Dixon, but when they said, "Nah, look at all these people that you like from all this wrestling that you watch," we putting all them on the card as well. Now it was a
whole row. We got a whole row of seats off of that.
From Cleveland to Cali to Texas, it was everywhere from around the world was that match.
Moving, yeah, no, it was good. That was good. Are there we've talked a lot about Maya World in the squared circle. What's Maya World getting into outside of the squared circle? What are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do when you not aside from watching, I guess, Joshi matches from the past?
I'm a big football fan. Like I'm right now missing the Ravens game, but we cool. It's gonna be there when I get off of here. But I love football. I'm going to the game September 22nd. Actually, that's another off day for me. So I've always been really big into sports. That was always my thing. Like I was going to school for sports broadcasting and journalism before I left for wrestling, which I do plan on going back still and finishing that. Okay. But honestly, my life outside of wrestling is not boring, but it's like I'm doing everything to like focus back on wrestling. Like it's just gymming, doing like I'm gonna start doing acting classes because that's a thing, and people are like, that's really, really good for wrestling, and just small things like that. But that's just all helping my wrestling, like, which is very not ideal. But I just want to wait till I get there to where I'm trying to get like signed to somewhere, and then I'll stop stressing about what I'm stressing about. But that's my life right now.
No, that actually makes a lot of sense. It's a good way to think about it because you gotta because at it sounds like you have a clear goal, not like a specific goal, but the goal there is something right there that you're working towards. So it makes sense to keep your nose in the grindstone and getting that going. Damn, where if we go to Maya World's neck of the woods, where are you telling us to go eat? Where's the food at?
That is such a good question. So I would take y'all to a seafood place. It's in downtown. It's kind of downtown Dallas, but it's called Aunt Irene's Kitchen, and it's some really good seafood. That's probably the number one place in the Dallas area.
What's the dish?
The dish. So it's called like box B, and it's like a big seafood. It's like lobster and sausage and shrimp and like just a basic boil. But I don't know. She put something in that seasoning because it's just different than any other seafood.
There's a crack in there.
They sell sweet tea in there.
Yeah, yeah, the sweet tea. You can't forget it. I just had a sweet tea, but it's gone now.
Damn. Okay. No, this makes sense. This is good. Well, Miss My World, there's a lot going on in the world, so we've been having a great conversation.
Ravens losing.
See, I don't. I didn't. That was him. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Tie game right now. Tie game right now.
I didn't say that. We got to get to the show.
We good. I don't care nothing about no goddamn rape.
I'm glad we was able to have My World here. Hopefully in the future we can have you back. I know. Matter of fact, we mentioned next week the Road Gold Rush show. Are there any other dates that you can announce right now? Anything else that's going on later this month? If not, it's fine. Just tell the people where they can find you if all else fails.
Yeah, after Row, I have another championship match the next day.
Okay.
It's not the first ever, but it's a championship that Danny B had before. But I think she, Danny B is everywhere now, so she kind of had to I gotta let this slide. I gotta go travel the world. So it's called HOT. It's in Waco, Texas. So that'll be next Sunday after Row. Other than that, I have a women's tournament the 21st at Next Level Wrestling.
Florida.
And yeah, it's in hold on, where is that?
Tampa.
Uvalde, Texas. That one is.
Ah.
And then the next week, it's more stuff. But you can find me on Instagram at It's My World and Twitter at It's My World also. And Facebook is just My World.
There you go. Shout out My World. Thank you for coming through. Really appreciate you for rocking with us again.
For sure.
Cowboys.
We'll talk again soon. I'm not saying anybody losing another. Have a good one. We'll talk soon. Good luck. Good luck next week. Good luck next week. Peace.
Yeah.
You too. Take care.